Hello, everyone. My name is Heath Burchett, the founder and executive director of Watchmen of the Streets, otherwise known as Habit Missions. And I hope everyone had a super wonderful, very Merry Christmas, whatever that might have looked like. And want to say again, thank you for supporting Watchmen of the Streets. And I have a Watchman word for the day. And so, many of you know that I have a love for Mother Teresa, and I read lots of autobiographies and quotes by Mother Teresa. This one's called Mother Teresa, Her Essential Wisdom. And she does have a lot of wisdom, especially when it comes to serving the needy and those that are serving the poor. And there's just so much insight, so much depth. And I believe that she experienced a real closeness with God, even though that she admits that she felt far away from God at times. She just did a great work and set up some amazing charities, still going on to this day. And so there's something that I'd like to read out of this book, one of her quotes. It says, "And today is the same Christ, the same Jesus, the same today in our poor people who are unwanted, unemployed, uncared for, hungry, naked, and homeless. They are useless to the state or to the society, and nobody has time for them. And it is you and I as Christians who, worthy of that love of Christ, if our love is true, must find them. We must help them. They are there for the finding." That is the heart of Watchmen of the Streets. To go to where people are at and build real relationships with those that might feel outcast by society, those that have trouble finding housing or getting a leg up or any kind of help. It must be so discouraging for so many of our friends on the streets, and now more than ever with COVID and affordable housing and a lack of shelter space. And now it's getting so cold, and it means the world, not only to deliver supplies, but to really to just develop real relationships with people. And there's not a better way to share Christ than to go to those that feel unworthy, that feel outcast. I mean, honestly, none of us are worthy, and we all need Jesus. We're all in the same boat, as Billy Graham says. We're all in the same boat of life together, and we all need Jesus. And we all have sin. And so we're all precious creations of God. And so we need to be there for one another. And the beautiful thing about when we go, it's a beautiful thing when we share Jesus and the love of Christ through our actions and things with anybody, but especially those that feel unwanted and unworthy. Even more so, do you see the face of Christ in those that you go and serve with? And so one of the things that I love about Watchmen of the Streets and serving our homeless friends on the streets is that, first of all, we feel such a sense of purpose, such a sense of calling that I can't even describe it to you without you going out and feeling and seeing for yourself. And then what we find out is, even if we feel uncomfortable at first, a lot of people have never done homeless ministry. They've never gone out into a homeless camp. And then we find out that people are just like you and me. They're no different. Whether you have a house or not have a house, rich or poor, it doesn't matter what color you are. None of that matters. We all have things in common. And we end up sometimes finding a best friend that's actually fallen on hard times and experiencing homelessness. And it blesses our lives, and we have a new friendship. And so not only are people like overcome by the love and the things that they receive from Watchmen of the Streets, but gosh, probably more testimonies on those that serve with Watchmen of the Streets, being blessed by our homeless neighbors, because we need our homeless friends on the streets. Because here's what I see. And here's what happens is sometimes we complain about the smallest things, and it's life, I get that. But then we see people with a messed up tent that have been in the cold, that had everything destroyed and ruined by the rain, all their belongings, and they're saying, "Well, I just thank God for another day. God's still on the throne, He's still looking after me, and I know He loves me." And you're thinking, wow, I thought I was here to minister to you. We're learning what a true faith looks like. We're growing in our faith together. And we learn what gratitude looks like, what thankfulness looks like. And so we have something to give, and so do our homeless neighbors. They have something to give us too. And that is what this life is all about. We're supposed to do life together, build relationships. That's the body of Christ. Doesn't matter if you're in a church building, doesn't matter if you're on Zoom, better in person, but we're to be together. One day you're going to be on top of the world, and you're going to be just glowing and excited and just feel everything's just so wonderful, and you're helping and blessing other people. And another day you could be down in the dumps. You could just feel in a funk or a depressive state, and you're going to need somebody, and that doesn't make you less spiritual. I think it's God saying, you need me. You need my love. You need my grace. And so I just want to encourage you to build relationships, not only with those that are out on the streets, but with everybody that you come into contact with. And I guarantee that you'll be blessed. And you'll have such a support system and see God in ways that you've never experienced before. Anyway, know that you're loved. Thank you for supporting Watchmen of the Streets. Please continue to do so, because we sure could use the funding, the items, and the volunteers. And you are part of the Watchmen of the Streets family. I love you, and God bless.